Alright. Welcome to Sideboard MTG. My name's Eric, and we've got some more spoilers for you guys tonight, but this is not going to be our only show. We're going to talk about these spoilers. We'll take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and play some more Patreon decks. But first, I need to mention that we've got some Wizard-sponsored content announcements, something like that. Yeah, Wizard-sponsored coming up tonight, so stay tuned for that, and I hope you like the show. If you do, give it that thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. Alright, let's... You like the transition? Right? I worked on that last night. I like it. I'm quite proud of it. Oh man, I picked the wrong one, right? Still not a professional. Oh man. Anyway, we've got, let's go ahead and do the Wizard sponsored announcements. I have to say that, like, WotC has invited Sideboard MTG community to be in the early event access, or the early access event on the 16th of January. We're going to be, from what I understand, we're going to have a play set of all the new cards. We're going to be able to play with everything. We're going to have some gems, some coins, and stuff like that. Get in some events. The only people playing that day will be, or for that event, will be streamers. So we'll be playing against all the other streamers that are out there, which will be a lot of fun. The big part about this is I've known about this since before Christmas, and I wanted to tell everyone, and had to wait for their announcement today before we could say anything. But yeah, this is a big deal. Like, I am super excited about this, and I just can't wait. Like, we're getting to get in on some new arena stuff. We're gonna get to play with all the cards and things like that, and it should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. The event will only be live for 16 hours. I plan to stream a minimum of 8 hours that day. I doubt I'll make the entire 16, but I plan to stream a minimum of 8 hours on the 16th. So we're gonna be that's going to be a lot of streaming, right? So get your brews together, start looking at these spoilers, think about what you want to build, think about how those decks are going to line up, how you want to put those together. We're going to be brewing on stream. We're going to be building, you know, testing the new archetypes. I'm sure we will play around with all of the different guilds and things like that, and then probably straight get into just some gameplay against all the other streamers, which will be a ton of fun. So I can't wait, and I hope you guys are excited about it as I am. So get you some tea, man. I've got coffee here. I have got to kick this. I've got to kick this cold. It's been kicking me. Anyway, we got some awesome new spoilers last night, and I'm not going to wait around. I'm gonna jump into these spoilers. The first one here is Amplifier, right? So me and man, like, I wish I could. There we go. Anyway, Amplifier, 4 mana for a 1/1. Right? 4 mana for a 1/1. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. until your next turn, Amplifier's base power becomes twice that card's power, and its base toughness becomes twice that card's toughness. Put the revealed card on the bottom of your library in a random order. So Rush, I am glad you're in chat tonight, as when this card got revealed late last night, me and Jeff Miles was talking about it, and we thought of you, man. You're a big fling guy, and you know, if you had just Amplifier and Galta in the deck, you didn't have any other creatures in the deck, you would increase your likelihood of turning this into a 24/24, and then you could just, you know, fling it at someone, or in this case, thud at someone, which would be pretty cool. I will say this, from the way this works, from what it looks like here on the card, that you would have to start resolving the ability, and once you started resolving the ability, they wouldn't be able to respond to it. They wouldn't be able to wait and see what creature you flipped up. And once, I mean, you could always run the worm and make it a 32/32, right? You know, the 16/16 indestructible. But once you start revealing cards and go through the creatures, they can't wait to see what you reveal and then kill it, like shock it or something like that. So the entire ability will have to resolve. So that's pretty sweet. They'll have to kill it with the trigger on the stack. So yeah, just use a big worm. Use something. You know, I don't even know what that worm's called. It's the 16/16 indestructible. But yeah, that would make it a 32/32. If you had Galta, that would make it a you know, 24/24. You really just need something as big as Gigantosaur to make it an instant kill. So yeah, we are working on building this one for you, Rush. We want to thud this at somebody. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, that's Amplifier. Let's move on. We've got a lot of these to talk about. The next one here is Seraph of the Scales. Where's Seraph? Seraph. Oh man, this is so okay. Seraph of the Scales, flying, 4/3 for 4 mana, Orzhov colors in 2, and Seraph of the Scales gains Vigilance until end of turn if you pay 1 white. If you pay 1 black, she gains Death Touch until end of turn, and then she's got Afterlife 2. Whenever this creature dies, create 2 1/1 white and black spirit creature tokens with flying. That's going to be pretty sweet. It works on curve with Divine Visitation, which is something, you know, we were looking at. That you know, you get to play this, and then you drop a Divine Visitation, and it's like, I dare you to kill it. I dare you to kill it. I'm about to get 2 4/4 angels, and yeah, it's just going to be great, right? Mardu Angels, anyone? Right? Some Mardu tokens, Mardu Angels. Oh, it's coming, guys. It's coming. So let's go to the next one. I know a lot of people are excited about this. This is Teysa. Boy, I'm going to butcher all these names, right? Teysa Karlov is a legendary human advisor, which is a 4 mana 2/4. So Orzhov colors in 2 will get you a 2/4 creature that has a couple sweet abilities. If a creature dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So this is like exiting the battlefield Panharmonicon, right? Like if you guys liked Panharmonicon and that type of thing, which was all from enter the battlefield triggers, this is the opposite side of that. So I mean, like if you're a deck that cares about things, if you're a deck that cares about things dying, then you're really gonna love this. Like, so hopefully we're gonna have some more, you know, death triggers, or when leaves the battlefield, that type of trigger. I do believe that Aftermath counts as a when this creature dies, you know, trigger. So you'll be able to get double Aftermath off of this. Creature tokens you control have Vigilance and Lifelink, so as your Aftermath creatures, or Afterlife creatures die, let's say that you had the last card we talked about that had Afterlife 2, you'd get 4 tokens instead of only getting 2 tokens, which is pretty sweet. And if you're using Afterlife cards to do something like Divine Visitation, you would get extra angels, and oh, I mean, it seems great. Yes, that was what everyone was talking about before there. Tier 1 Jank. Tier 1 Jank mentions that Revel in Riches does care about things dying. Revel in Riches, Elendra the Dusk Rose. As creatures die, you're going to get, you know, either +1/+1 counters on Elendra. As Elendra dies, you're going to get twice the number of +1/+1 counters that were on her as creatures. With Revel in Riches, as creatures die, you're going to get tokens, those treasure tokens, which means that you're going to be able to get to that max number of not max, but that needed 10 treasures a little bit quicker. So all you got to do is just kill a whole bunch of things, and you'll get additional treasures, which will get you to that alternate win con a little bit quicker. So there's going to be some build arounds. I think this card's just good enough that it's going to fit in a lot of different places. But I also kind of feel that about a few of these cards we're going to be looking at tonight. So next here we're going to talk about what I really wanted to be a much better dragon, right? Oh man, what gets discredited? Powerful card, bottom ability is really strong, build around, top ability could be sweet. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Jizza. Possibly splashing red and becoming Absanity. It's going to be sweet. Absanity. I like it. I like it. Womp womp. Ah, yes, the dragon. I was really hoping for, you know, something Thundermaw Hellkite-ish, right? So Riot is the new Gruul ability, and it looks like this dragon has a Riot ability here. This creature enters the battlefield with your choice of a +1/+1 counter or haste. So if you want to go ahead and get in for 4 damage immediately, then yeah, you'll get a 4/4 for 5 mana. Doesn't seem great. But if you want to wait a turn, you can get a 4/4 for, or you can get a 5/5 for 5 mana that will then activate the next ability. Alright, so this is the part that kind of gets me. It's like, this dragon's just a 4/4 if you want to just hit somebody with it now. Alright, so, Skargan Hellkite deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. Activate this ability only if it has a +1/+1 counter on it. So unless you have some other way to give +1/+1 counters, then you're not going to be able to do much. 5,500 is the bite rate I use. Anyway, so if you want the 5/5, you're going to be able to like go into the much later game. If you're just trying to like finish things off right now, take your 4/4, smack them in the face, go with it. I doubt this will be like a chase card, but you never know. These dragons normally, man, I always want so much out of my 5-mana dragons. This feels a little bit like a letdown. Maybe I'm not seeing something. Maybe you guys can let me know. Next here, we've got Spawn of Mayhem. I know some of you are kind of excited about this card. I like the spectacle cost on this because, you know, 3 mana for a 4/4 seems really good to me, and that just means I had to be aggressive in the first place. So 5/5 is really good against Lava Coil and Rekindling Phoenix. That is a very good assessment there, Jizza. You're right. Like, if you're worried about a Lava Coil deck, it may not be worth it to hit for 5 now. You might want to go ahead and give it that +1, or hit for 4 now. You might want to give it that +1/+1 counter, and then you'll go into the later game with it. So, I mean, it does give you some variance. It gives you the option to choose. That alone's not bad. So, Spawn is just a solid card. Yeah, I think this is just a really good card. There's not a ton of downside to it. So let's read Spawn of Mayhem here. This is a 4 mana 4/4. So double black and 2 will get you a 4/4 flying trample demon that has spectacle for double black and 1. You may cast this for its spectacle cost rather than its mana cost if an opponent has lost life this turn. So as long as we can ping our opponent, do a little bit of damage to our opponent, we will be able to cast this for, the cheap cost of 3 mana. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, Spawn of Mayhem deals 1 damage to each player. Then if you have 10 or less life, put a 1/1 counter on Spawn of Mayhem. This is just good. Like, I think this is just a solid card, right? It just kind of just screams the epitome of like what black decks do. If you go back and like one of the most iconic black cards for me is Bloodghast, and Bloodghast has a lot of this going on. I mean, it cares about opponents being low, cares about things like that. I don't know. It's just it just screams like this is a black card to me. So I'm just gonna say kudos Wizards on just a good solid card that I can't say anything bad about. Right? I mean it's just a good card. Whether or not it's going to be broken or anything like that, I kind of doubt it. As long as Lava Coil's in the format, you'll easily be able to deal with this, but it will require an answer early, and if you don't answer it, it can probably just get away with you there. All right, this next one, I know some of you are a little excited about this, some of you may not be. This is Precognitive Perception. Okay, so double blue and 3 for an instant speed spell that says draw 3 cards. I like drawing cards, but it's got addendum on it. If you cast this spell during your main phase, instead scry 3, then draw 3. That I can't for the life of me find anything wrong with this card. It's well priced. 5 mana for 3 cards. We've been paying that for a long time. What was it? Jace's Ingenuity or something like that. These cards get play. 5 mana for 3 instant will always be good, says Crimson. Yeah, I'm with you there. We've had multiple variants of cards just like this throughout the history of Magic. And, well, basically since, they realized that Ancestral Recall was just, too broken. But, yeah, this is just a solid card. And then if you're trying to hit a land drop and you got to cast it on your turn, you're going to get to do that extra scrying. So, that's the best addendum card yet. Yeah. So far I'm liking it. I really like it. I think it's playable. Whether or not we'll see if see decks having 3 and 4 copies of this in their deck, I kind of doubt it. Most of the time we see control decks like top out with like I've got 2 Jace's Ingenuity or whatever in my deck. This might be a little bit more playable than that, so I'm not opposed to this card. I really like the idea of drawing 3 cards. And then if I have to cast it on my turn, there's definitely something worth looking at right there with the additional 3 on the scry. So just a solid card. Again, like that seems to be the theme of tonight. We're seeing a bunch of really powerful, solid cards that are just hard to gripe about, which does kind of worry me a little bit about that power creep, right? Like, are we creating a very, very powerful, set here that could, I don't know. We'll see. Standard Plus is going to be a thing, ladies and gentlemen. They've said it. They want this to happen, so we don't lose our arena cards and stuff as they rotate out. So, these powerful cards, they may be the backbone to a new Standard Plus. Anyway, here we've got a Gruul colors, double green and red, plus 3 generic. We'll get you a 4/5. Does not pass the vanilla test, but it does have Riot, so you could make it into a 5/6, which is not bad. But we've got a couple other abilities here. When it enters the battlefield, you get to choose one. I like to choose. I like having options. I like having choices. And we're going to get to choose between having our creature fight a creature we don't control, or we can have it destroy target land with an activated ability that isn't a mana ability. So your search for Escanta, your detection tower, you know, all of these things, they die to the Ravager Wurm. Big worm, big verm, big verm. Anyway, killing D-Tower is the most important, you think, with Spellbreaker around. Yeah, that's exactly why I mentioned that. Because, you know, it's... Worm is good, but you will still use Carnage Tyrant over it. We'll talk about Carnage Tyrant in a minute, because his days are numbered, ladies and gentlemen. Carnage Tyrant's days are numbered, and I'm going to say that you might not want to be playing with Drakes as much either. But then again, those decks are just so powerful, they just may not care about the answers we've been given. So, who knows? We'll see. But there are some really good answers that we're going to be talking about that will deal with Carnage Tyrant. Alright, so that was the Ravager Wurm. Let's look at Balrak Clan Crusher. Just a 5 mana 4/4 with an ability here. Remove a +1/1 counter from a creature you control, and it'll deal 2 damage to any target. If there's a Tamer Adept deck, I find this in there. I really do. If this is an uncommon, and if you are like building 3-color decks or something in your drafts, and you do hit that you know, Adept and stuff like that, you might actually want this card. Being able to have that additional removal from, you know, like, I'm going to pull a counter over here, I'm going to, you know, burn this thing, and then I'm going to pull, you know, another counter in the next turn and burn this thing. Now that my 2 counters are gone, I can hit Adept on this creature again, get some more counters, which will turn into more shocks. So, you know, probably not that bad. I kind of like this card. I think that this is just a pretty decent card. Absolutely. I mean, if you are, you know, doing that riot thing and stuff like that, there'll be some fun. You think there's a Teamer deck, but not Adept? I'm thinking Teamer Adept just in draft, really. I mean, this is an uncommon. It's something you're going to be able to find. You're going to be able to draft it and things like that. So, you know, if you've got ways, there's a lot of +1/1 counter effects here in this set. So as far as drafting it goes, that's going to be a probability. So, yeah, I ignore. Like, I don't even care about misspelled words, right? Same will be here in this standard. Yeah. In Innistrad, RTR, 3-color decks had more reliable mana bases than 2-color decks. Awesome. Yeah, that was true. It was just because, like, you needed to run all of that. Like, all of the different... It was harder to hit double than it was to just hit, like, 1 green, 1 red, you know. Which is still a thing. Uh-oh, Rush said something that got deleted. But yeah, it's an Ogre Warrior. I think it'll fit some places. I'm not really happy about paying 5 mana for a 4/4, but again, this just looks like it is going to be a really good draft card. However, I'm not 100% sure that you know, it's going to be bomb enough for a draft, right? We'll see. We'll see. All right, so let's turn the head. Okay. Tap target creature and draw a card for Azorius hybrid mana and 1. So 2 mana instant speed, you know, Azorius and 1 for tap a creature, draw a card. Just that's a solid ability. We've seen that on cards before in the past. Let's check out the other side of this. Deploy. So this is Azorius colors, non-hybrid. So 1 blue, 1 white, and 2, and you're going to be able to instant speed create 2 1/1 Thopters. And then you're going to gain a life for each creature you control. Now, that's... Are they wanting Azorius to be a creature deck? Is Azorius not supposed to be control? Like, are they begging Azorius to just be a ton of creatures? I mean, we've got Dovin, who cares about creatures, and now we've got, you know, Deploy, which is going to throw out some Thopters, and oh my goodness, like, are they trying to flip the way we think about Azorius? I mean, Azorius has been the classic control cards for so long. Blue-white tempo. Okay, so the mono blue decks, they flip to tempo. Man, that means we lose Tempest Gen? No. I don't know. Esper or Jeskai artifacts could be a thing. What I will say is, I looked at this card and I was like, man, that works really well with Tezzeret, right? I mean, you automatically get, you know, 2 of the Thopters that you need to start drawing 2 cards per turn with your Tezzeret. That sounds really, really good. You have, you know, the tap down effect, so you're trying to get in and hit with creature cards. So I don't know. Maybe we will have an Azorius deck that cares about creatures. So we'll see. They wanted blue to be creatures forever. Yeah, well, mono blue aggro's rare. You was thinking blue-white tempo. Yeah, well, blue-white tempo. It could be a thing. All right, let's go to Growth Chamber Guardian. I kind of like this card, guys. This is a 2-mana 2/2. Passes the vanilla test. But we've got abilities on this Elf Crab Warrior. What? What is going on? An Elf Crab Warrior. You can tell it's a member of the Simic Guild. It has been modified and manipulated, and now it's a whole bunch of other things. But this Elf Crab Warrior, put it in your Elves deck, your Warriors deck, put it in your Crabs deck. When 1 or more +1/1 counters are put onto Growth Chamber Guardian, you may search your library for a card named Growth Chamber Guardian, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. So you have to put a +1/1 counter on him, but that just means, like, okay, so I play him, then I adapt 2, so that makes him a 4/4, and then I go get another one. Like, if you're playing nothing else, you're looking at, I don't know, this on 2, adapt it on 3, swing with a 4/4, plus you got an extra card. It might not be that bad, right? Like, these +1/1 counters things, you know, hey, who knows? Making a Crabs deck and calling it Itchy Pants. Oh, man, that's messed up. Would you want to see me release a video if it was a little choppy? And man, the amount of times my streams have been choppy, I couldn't count. So my recommendation on streaming and putting out content is just keep doing it. Just keep putting out content, keep streaming, keep if it's bad, it's bad, and people will understand. And if it's better, then, you know, it'll get better. If you can't do the 5500, try 45. Don't go below 3K. So, like, YouTube just doesn't like anything below 3K. Like, YouTube hates anything below 3K. Personally, I wouldn't go down below 35, but you can cut all the way down to 35 if you want. Anyway, back to the cards here. Not on this site, but you saw it on Reddit. What am I missing? This card has some weird animation. Oh yeah, okay. That's something else we'll be able to do when we get to play with all the new cards. We'll get to see those animations, right? Darn cat people. Okay, so that's Growth Chamber Sentry. Next here we've got Wilderness Reclamation. I love this card. It's only 1 green and 3, so we can put this in all kinds of 3-color decks, like whatever. You may even want to just splash for this. Like, at the beginning of your end step, untap all lands you control. Oh my god, Turbo Fog will be unbeatable. All lands you control. That means the Search for Azcanta gets untapped. That means, oh my goodness. Yes, it's that uncommon 4-mana enchantment. Yeah, it even does something the turn it comes out, right? Okay, so I play this, you don't remove it, and I untap all 4 lands that I tapped that turn, and I still have Settle the Wreckage available? Oh, God. Yep. This is... We no longer need Teferi! That's right! Right? If that was the big deal on Teferi, is getting to untap the additional land so that I could play control on your turn. I mean, this is almost a free spell. You play it for 4 mana, and if it resolves, then you get to untap your mana. Like, this is going to be good. It's like Seaborn Muse, only better. This card's good, guys. This card is good. It's only an uncommon, so it's not going to break your bank. It's not going to cost you a ton. It's not going to, burn through your wild cards trying to get copies of it. And we could sit here and talk all night about the different things that you can do with this in multiple formats. This card is good. This will go in Commander decks. This will go in your standard decks. This card's good. I don't know what else to say, but holy crap. You need Teferi for the ultimate. No. No, I don't. I do not need Teferi for the ultimate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run 1 copy of Banefire, and then I'm going to take additional turns forever until I finally get to it. And then I'm just going to burn you. I don't know. It's just okay, so at the beginning of my upkeep, I'll float 12 mana, untap, float 12 more. Okay, so you need an instant speed for that. Okay, so I've got to use Expansion Explosion. But I don't need Teferi to kill you. Teferi is a slow, consistent way of killing people, but there's other ways to do it. But, I'm down to talk about it all night. I like it, Crimson, I like it, buddy. Well, I like the card, and there's a lot of ways that you can kill people, so, it's pretty good. It is pretty good. What I was thinking about was Addendum, right? I've got all these control cards that I want to cast on my turn to get this extra ability off of them, but I don't know if I want to cast it this turn, because then I won't be able to settle on your turn, and then, oh man, you know what? I'll cast these Addendum cards anyway, and then just untap all my lands. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. First build around card for the sideboard crew. This may be it. Show me how you're gonna break Wilderness Reclamation. I would love that. I would love to see how crazy you guys can get with this. This seems absolutely wonderful, right? Now you can use the Scry 3, Draw 3. That's right. That's right. Addendum is no longer a bad thing, right? So you run this, and oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Let's go look at Rakdos the Showstopper here. I seen the professor talking about this card. This might have been the professor's something. I don't know. Anyway, it's a pretty cool card. I don't know just how good it's going to be, but it's one of the best coin flip cards I've seen in a really long time. Most of the time, coin flip cards are just really gimmicky and aren't that great. But Rakdos the Showstopper, is that what it is? Rakdos is just the big spectacle. They're the show of flames and blades and blood, and they're putting on a show, right? Well, all right. Rakdos is a 6 mana, so Rakdos colors and 4 for a 6/6 flying trample demon. Seems pretty common on demons, right? Flying with trample, alright. So 6 mana for a 6/6, that's nothing special. I mean, we've got 4 mana 6/6s, we've got 5 mana 6/6s, now we've got 6 mana 6/6s. So starting at turn 4, you can play a 6/6 every turn for the rest of the game. But he's got another ability. When Rakdos the Showstopper enters the battlefield, flip a coin for each creature that isn't a demon, devil, or imp. Destroy each creature whose coin comes up tails. Alright, so yeah, you don't get any choice, or as Dev would say, you don't have any agency on it. But you do get you get the option at killing things. I mean, if they've got a whole bunch of humans on the battlefield, you grab your trusty quarter there and you just start flipping it. I think if I was going to play this, though, I would have to go get me like a Chuck E. Cheese coin or something like that. Is Chuck E. Cheese still in business? Is that still a thing? Anyway, yeah, I would have to. I'd have to have me a coin. But if you don't have coins, you can always just say odds and evens, and make tails the the odds or something like that. There are other ways to randomize the 50% here, but it's not that hard to find a coin, right? Could potentially kill Carney T in multiple ways. Like, you could potentially just kill him because he entered the battlefield, and then Carney T swings and you just block with it. So yeah, I mean, it's not a bad card. It's not bad. I'm not going to say that this is like a great card, but I mean, he's not Niv Mizzet powerful. It's going to happen to some of us, alright? So many new demons. Lily on his contracts looking better. You're right, Cornball. It is looking better. Robbie Shannon, also on the Liliana's contract idea. Hey, we've got a ton of demons right now, so is this the answer for Carney T I was talking about? No, this is not the answer for Carney T. Orzhov has the answer for Carney T. Anyway, Rakdos the Showstopper, I think it's a solid card. I'm not going to say it's like Niv Mizzet worthy, guild leader, but Rakdos is he's definitely showing up with a little bit of power here. All right, so we're gonna jump up here to Prime Speaker Vannifar. I wasn't really happy with this one. So this is an Elf Ooze Wizard. So Elf Ooze Wizard. All right. So she has like transcended a whole bunch of different things. She's an Elf Wizard that is like turned into some type of ooze, but whatever. That is what the Simic does, right? We get a 4-mana 2/4. No, this is not the first time we've seen a 4-mana 2/4, and we had one earlier. So there better be a good ability here. Let's check it out. Tap Prime Speaker Vannifar. Sacrifice another creature. Search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the sacrificed creature's converted mana cost. Put that card on the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. Alright. So let's take a quick gander here. Birthing Pod. This card was broken, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. Birthing Pod was a broken card. So, it was also only a sorcery. Okay. This is a... There will be decks built around this. I don't know exactly how the build is going to look, but Birthing Pod is a really cool card, and we've had a lot of fun with this card in the past. If you guys remember the days of Phyrexia, and right before it rotated, we were you were sacrificing your Restoration Angel that you had just used to blink something else, to go get an acidic slime to blow up something else. Like, it was absolutely just crazy, and it created some extremely good deck building. And you could not grab someone else's Birthing Pod deck and then just go pilot it with the expertise. Like, you couldn't do it, right? You had to know how many 1-drops you had in your deck. You had to know how many 2-drops you had in your deck. You had to know which one of your 3 5-drops you had in your deck that you wanted to go get. You had to know, like, absolutely every card in your deck. And it was actually one of the first decks that I ever played that forced me to know my deck in and out like that. And that created some really good habits as far as deck building goes, and as far as knowing your outs. So I really like this card, and I think a lot of people are going to play with it. I think people are going to have a lot of fun with it. It is going to be easy to kill. Birthing Pod wasn't that hard to kill either. It was an artifact, and people ran artifact hate back then because there were these swords that you had to destroy. But all in all, the Birthing Pod deck was still a very, very powerful deck. And you know, it's going to lead to some very interesting deck building. This would be another card that I would love to see your build arounds. I would love to see, you know, how you guys built it. You know, where you wanted to go. You know, do you want to go from your 3-drop? Like, what 4-drop are you going into? What 5-drop do you want to go into next? And that's kind of the plan, is that you want to tap this absolutely every turn. You want to get some value out of your creatures every single turn. And activating this ability only as a sorcery does seem bad, but yeah. This don't have haste. No, it does not. It is not as good as Birthing Pod. It's easier to remove because people are going to be running creature removal anyway. So, yeah. Seems sweet in a Simic build. It seems like there's going to be some good stuff, right? I really wish that you could sacrifice an instant speed, but whatever. Tamer! Man, what are you going to get in red, huh? Rex Sage, Choop, Hostage Taker, right? It allows you to run these toolbox decks, and those are really fun. I like toolbox decks, where you don't have a ton of 4-ofs in your deck. You got a ton of 2-ofs and 3-ofs and 1-ofs, and it's fun. Zaxadillo said, I'm planning 5-color already. Jeebus. Simic sucks. No. I think these cards are going to fit into a lot of different places. So, anyway, let's move on to Inrazer Forerunners. So 8 mana 7/7. Okay. Smash this city to pieces, says Domary Raid. 3 green and 5 for Inrazer Forerunners. Vigilance, Trample, Haste, 7/7. And when it enters the battlefield, other creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain Vigilance and Trample until end of turn. Craterhoof Jr. says Rush. That was exactly what I was thinking. Craterhoof Behemoth. Not the big Craterhoof, but little baby, right? Little baby. But yeah, Inrazer Forerunners. There could be some use for this. If we've got some ramp decks, and if you're using creature ramp to get there, you know, you've got a ton of Land of War Elves and Druids and stuff like that. Yeah, I think this just got nickname Craterhoof Jr. Yeah, Craterhoof Jr. Yep, that's it. That art, though, I wish it was in a little bit better detail here, but those pigs, man, they look mean. Them boars. How about them boars? Them Razorbacks, y'all. Just want to point out that there is roughly 6 mana dorks in Standard, and Goreclaw makes this cheaper too. Yeah. That is, that's a good assessment. That's a good assessment. Stompy could be a problem with this, right? Can cheat it in with Goreclaw. Yeah, a lot of people are looking at ways to get Craterhoof Jr. on the battlefield here. Rise from the grave. Right, that could be a thing. It's a fun card, but you bet we see safer plays. Yeah, people are going to try it though, right? After seeing the Simic sucks comment, turns. Hold my beer. Hold my beer. Hold on a minute. I gotta fix this. Right. Oh, the Rise from the Grave song. Oh yeah. This is Altered Beast from the original Sega. I don't know if you guys remember like 16-bit Sega or 8-bit Sega, but Altered Beast was the game that came with it. So yeah, I had to grab this. All right. Well, anyway, Craterhoof Jr. Not a bad card. Not a bad card. Alright, so next we're going to be looking at Pestilent Spirit. 3 mana for a 3/2 Death Touch Menace Spirit. Oh. Do I even... I guess I gotta read it, don't I? I gotta read that next line. Instant and sorcery spells you control have Death Touch. Oh my goodness. Fiery Cannonade, anybody? Yeah, Zaxdillo, me and you are together. Like everyone's going, Radiating Lightning, found a new friend, but why do I want Radiating? Okay, because Fire and Cannonade would kill this, right? Fair enough. Fair enough. That's good. That's oh man. This doesn't have a pestilence mechanic. Yes, it does. So in Rakdos, in things like that, dual shot, duh. I like it. I like it. Dual shot would work. Dual shot's definitely something we could use. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. Radiating Lightning is also on curb, and it deals 3 to the opponent. Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't like paying 4 mana for the spell, but if you get to keep your Pestilent Spirit around, then it's going to be a board wipe. So this seems very Timmy. Hey, Timmy. Well, I wouldn't mind the Death Touch Menace guy, right? Like, just a 3 mana, 3/2 with Death Touch and Menace could be playable. Because if they stop it, like if you're an aggressive deck and they're trying to stop it, they've got to put more than one creature in front of it. And you only got to assign 1 point of damage to each of those creatures to kill them. So Death Touch and Menace, not bad. And then when you can start burning all of their creatures, dealing 1 damage to each creature they control, that sort of thing. Oh man, this is gonna be big. Mardu with Sunspeaker, Fire Song and Sunspeaker. So all your spells have Lifelink and Death Touch. Yeah, it seems pretty good. It seems pretty good. Just play Ping spell in response, right? Just ping. Oh, this is gonna. Oh, Cosmotronic Wave. Oh wow, yeah, okay. So there's definitely some stuff that we could do with this. A lot of ways we could kill our opponent with this. All right, this one's pretty good, guys. All right, so I know that there's a lot of you out there that were really big fans of Arcades, trying to build your walls decks, wanting to kill people with, you want to hit people with butts, man. Like, you don't want to punch them in the face. You want to smack them with a butt. I went too far with that. I went too far. Anyway, high alert. Azorius and 1, so 3 mana enchantment, and each creature you control assigns damage. Combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Each creature you control with Defender can attack as though it didn't have Defender. And then you may pay 4 mana to untap target creature. Oh my goodness. Walls for the win. Arcades in this. Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, just giving you a little bit of backup for Arcades is going to be great. Right, Dive Down's going to be, really good card. What's the deal with these busted uncommon enchantments in this set? I don't know, but they are definitely a little busted. But you know what? I think they're going to have to be, man. We've got an extremely powerful set that's fairly well balanced right now, that all of these cards are coming into, and you couldn't bring some weak sauce up into our current set and expect it to push these decks out. Golgari is not getting pushed out by a lot of decks. I just really don't care, like, what your strategy is. Golgari is not a horrible of course you would know about an anime about girls fighting with each other with their butts. Anyway, why wouldn't you? Why doesn't everybody know about that anime? Anyway, like, I don't think weak cards are going to be able to, oh man, yeah, that's right, Tetsuko. I don't think weak cards are going to be really good in the format. I mean, you've got Golgari, you've got the Drake Stacks, you've got Nib Mizzet that these cards are coming up against. you can't play around with that. Like you gotta have some power if you want to stand a chance in these metas. Ziggler, Golgari can't be pushed out until Assassin's Trophy is gone. It's too strong. Fair enough. You know, I agree that Golgari is just a really powerful, really fair deck. I think that the deck may morph again. We may see it go into additional colors, but then again, we may not. I mean, you know, unless it's just easier to have the 3-color mana base, then we're probably not going to see a big shift out of Golgari. But Golgari is definitely making a stand as being an extremely powerful deck, and you know, it's kind of defining our current format. And like I said, I mean, if you don't have some really powerful cards, you're not going to be putting up a fair fight against it. So we need these powerful cards if we want to have a chance against those decks. So you can see Golgari splashing into red. I can too. I can see Golgari splashing into red, or finally getting into blue now that the lands will be here. Figure out what your X for GBX is going to be. GBX, what? Oh, green black X, right? Yeah. I don't know exactly where we're going to go. I know a lot of people want John. I think that Sultai is so close to just being really good. I think that the only reason that Sultai is not being played right now as the main Golgari deck is just because the 2-color deck is just smoother. So you get that extra, you know, those extra points of consistency. So, you know, we may see, you know, green black X decks show up. So why not Moist Jun, right? Why not 4 colors? You just wanted to say Moist. I know what you did. You're already on the Jun train. All aboard. I like it. I like it. You're gonna call it. Teferi gets banned in 2019. Hell, we ain't banned him yet. Why would we ban him now? I mean, I don't see why we got to ban Teferi at this point. So turn 4, the Wilderness Reclamation. Turn 5, Teferi. Then you draw a card, put the triggers on the stack at the beginning of the next end step. Even if you didn't hit another land, right? You let the Teferi triggers resolve, untap 2, go ahead and retap those, produce 2 mana, untap the other 5 mana, go ahead and tap those. You have 7 mana at the end of your turn on turn 5. Yeah. Yeah, Nexus of Fate, it's going to be a real thing. Yeah. Thought we will be playing a 4-color unsealing deck just because you'll be playing an 4-color unsealing deck just because you can. You think out of anything here that the untapped land enchantment will have the best argument for being banned? Yeah, out of what we've seen so far. Either way, though, for those of you liking Arcades, we're gonna have some fun with this Arcades decks. Now, like, that was the big problem with Arcades decks, was you were always just slamming wall. Finally, I found an Arcades. Okay, I'll put the Arcades down. They just kill the Arcades. Well, crap. And like, they would wait for you to swing, right? So all of your walls turn sideways. And then, you know, you kill the Arcades. Now the walls can't deal combat damage with their butt. And no damage happens. All the walls are turned sideways. They kill you on crackback. It was just too risky to be able to get in with Arcades because Arcades was easy to kill. You know, there was a ton of Vraska's Contempt and stuff like that. So, where's the Carnage Tyrant answer, sideboard MTGH? We'll get there. You ready? We're only a couple cards away. We're getting close. It's right here. Concentrate, consume. We're going to consume Carnage Tyrants, ladies and gentlemen. Consume them. Okay, so time for another neck breaker. Carnival deals 1 damage to target creature or planeswalker and 1 damage to its controller. This would be pretty sweet with a little spirit, right? Ping! All right, this is going to have a Carnival. Oh, you fell off the ride. You're dead. And then you've got the back half of this, Carnage, which is 4 mana, so Rakdos and 2. Carnage deals 3 damage to target opponent. That player discards 2 cards. Kind of makes me reminiscent a little bit of Rakdos' Return, which would allow us to, like, that was one of the things that was really nice about those the old Rakdos decks, where a lot of times you were trying to get your opponent, hellbent. As soon as you got them out of cards, you would, then just flat out take over the game really quick. So having Mind Rot and 3 points of damage, so I mean, it's not exactly a lightning strike. You can't point it at anything, but that first half, that's not bad either. So I mean, this is not a bad card. Just all around decent. Again, it doesn't seem like they made the Rakdos. Excuse me. Doesn't seem like they made the Rakdos, cards that broken, but all right, this one's worth breaking your neck for, so get sideways, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so this is Consecrate. All right, instant speed for Orzhov Hybrid and 1. Exile target card from a graveyard and draw a card. See, told you we'd answer Carnage Tyrant. Carnage Tyrant's gone. Got him right out of the graveyard. He's gone. They're not bringing him back. Oh, y'all wanted to kill him while he was on the battlefield. Okay, all right. So let's get to the next part. We've got black, white, and 2. Sorcery speed, though. Target player sacrifices the creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. You gain life equal to that creature's power. Yep. Get rid of your biggest dude, man. I don't know if you guys remember this, but Crackling Doom was a hell of a card. Okay. Answers Carnage Tyrant. Nobody plays it. Something backwards about that. Right. Well, I'm thinking that I'm with Jareth Miles here. It looks like Mardu is shaping up to be one heck of a deck. Esper. Okay, this is a decent card in Esper, right? That's it. Crackling Doom. Yeah, Crackling Doom was a real card, guys. Crackling Doom, hell of a card. All right. It was. It really was. Being able to remove their biggest dude, that's always great. And this, okay, so Crackling Doom would remove their biggest dude and do 2 damage to them, right? Whereas this, it does cost 1 more mana, but it's not necessarily as hard to cast. Okay, so Crackling Doom said the same thing. Target player had to sacrifice the creature they control with the largest power. Crackling Doom deals 2 damage to that to their face or whatever. It's not how it was worded, but it did the same thing. Like, it got rid of their biggest creature and they took 2 damage. Whereas this is going to get rid of their biggest creature, and the bigger that creature was, the more life you gain off of it. So that means if that creature got in and smacked you 1 time, right? No red, no damage. Yeah, but we get life gain, right? So let's say Carnage Tyrant smacked us once. We lost 7 life off of it. And then we get to cast this. We gain that life back, right? Like, whatever the big creature that hit us, like that creature is going to heal us back. Which is pretty sweet. This is going to be good against drakes, things like that. This is going to be pretty good, guys. Like, I'm a firm believer in this card as being, the answer we're going to need to a lot of things. Also, they stapled Graveyard Hate onto the other side of it, right? Like, so this is going to be so good against Carnage Tyrant. It's going to be so good against the Drake stacks. Those Drakes are going to be huge. They're going to have, they're going to be 7 4s or 8 4s or whatever. We're going to gain, all of that life off of them. And if they're the Arclight Phoenix decks, and we don't need to do, the Crackling Drake thing, but we need to get rid of that Arclight Phoenix, exile target card from a graveyard and draw another card. So, pretty good. Also a Doom Whisperer killer, right? Although I haven't had a lot of trouble killing Doom Whisperer, but this card is good. This card, it's just well balanced. It may end up in sideboards and things like that, but because of all the options that are available on this card, it's going to be really good in your best of one decks. So if you guys are playing Arena and you're playing best of one, this is going to be really good. You want high variance in your best of one decks, because those best of one decks, like, you don't know what you're coming up against, and you don't have games 2 and 3. Like, you got to have those different options. So, okay, I came up against a deck where I'm actually just more interested in getting rid of that Chemister's Insight out of their graveyard than I am anything else, because they don't have creatures. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of that Chemister's Insight. Draw me a card. And then the next game, the same card comes into play against a Golgari deck, and they've got Carnage Tyrant, and you're like, hey, yeah, I'll take it. So this is gonna be okay. This is going to be an okay card. This looks like your favorite card for control spoiled so far. Yeah, this is solid. This is definitely solid. Wakanda and Tron forever. Whatever. But yeah, you're just waiting for them to spoil the obligated Tron hate card for the set. Yeah, they've already spoiled it. It's yeah, Lavinia or whatever her name is. His name. I mean, I can't tell. It's squared off jaw. Anyway, this is another card that some people are going to be a little excited about. I mean, we've ran cards like this in the past. During rotation, right? So when rotation happens, we will lose Golden Demise. All right, this will still be around. So whether you're running this or Golden Demise, whatever you're running, just remember, like, they're in separate parts of the block. So as rotation happens and we lose, you know, Ixalan, Rivals of Ixalan, and you know, those cards will still have this around. So this means that for the next 2 years we're going to have this effect. It's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, and that's why I mention it like that, Madness. All creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. Exile all creature cards in graveyards that died this turn. If a creature would die this turn, exile it instead. I would rather run this against an Arclight Phoenix deck than I would Golden Demise. So maybe not. I don't know. Another thing, we were talking about Kaya last night. Someone mentioned it to me that Kaya might actually be the perfect card against control decks, as a lot of the control decks want to use their Search for Escanta and stuff, and if you resolve a Kaya, they're never going to hit Search for Escanta. So I'm not necessarily sure. We'll have to see where the meta goes, whether I would rather have Golden Demise over this. But in most situations, I'm probably going to rather have this than Golden Demise, because I can't think of the times that I've actually had the City's Blessing. So, yeah, Kaya's getting better and better. Like, I keep seeing more and more ways to do crazy things with that card. So, maybe we'll have to go back and reassess the Planeswalkers. The initial assessment, I don't think, was quite fair. But, Bellow of the Carnarium? Man, I don't know. Anyway, I would run this over Golden Demise, just because I like exiling creatures and stuff like that. So, yeah, there we go. That's right. Hurts Undergrowth. It also stops Afterlife, right? It hurts Undergrowth and stops Afterlife. So, if there are a ton of you know, Afterlife cards, you might not want a Golden Demise, because Golden Demise is just going to give them a bunch more spirits, and they're just going to come back at you. Those spirits could end up becoming angels. Like, everyone seems to be wanting to put the Divine Visitation in their spirit stack, and it's going to be great. Oh, but it's going to be bad to play against. Either way, you might want this over that. So, depending on where the meta goes, you're going to want either this or Golden Demise. I actually think you're going to want this. So, we may just forget that Golden Demise is in the format. You know, like exiling all the small Orzhov creatures to make sure they don't get Afterlife triggers. It's probably going to be a thing. So, anyway, that was Bellow. Let's move to Pitiless Pontiff. Is that right? Pontiff? Man, I can't say that. Anyway, it's just a 2-mana 2/2. right? So Orzhov Colors, 2 mana, 2/2. Doesn't even have Afterlife. I'm disappointed. But it is something we were looking for, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so when we were talking about Judith, we were talking about Pontiff. Pontiff? Okay. Pitiless Pontiff. Anyway, we were looking for a sack outlet to go with Judith, right? So we were needing ways to have our creatures die and things like that, and there just wasn't a really good sack outlet. Now, I don't think this is as good as the double black when we had a couple sets back, or sorry, the black white when we had a couple sets back. I can't remember the name right now, but it also gave Death Touch and like Indestructible or something like that. But you would also gain some life, based on how big the creature was that you sack. So pay 1, sacrifice another creature. Pitiless Pontiff gains Death Touch and Indestructible until end of turn. So yeah. Adanto has a girlfriend. Maybe we'll find out. Adanto might be getting taxed. We'll see. Punch. Aristocrats, anyone? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, we were needing a sack outlet that was worth playing, that wasn't just some enchantment that did nothing the turn we brought it down. This is actually a 2/2 for 2, passes that vanilla test. You throw this in your Mardu, Mardu Aristocrats, guys. Get ready for it. It's gonna be a thing. Get ready. It's happening. Yeah. Slightly weaker Yahenni. I can't think of the name of the card. Oh. It was a sack outlet, 1 mana. It was oh, one of you guys are going to come up with it. It was just a couple sets back. Wasn't that long ago, 2 or 3, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. But we need a free sack outlet. Well, Nantuko Husk isn't getting. It was a black-white card. It was a black-white card. It was like a 2/3. Okay, it was a 2/3 black-white that had. No, not Viscera Seer, not Blood Artist. Oh, we need Blood Artist. We've currently got a Blood Artist in format. Viscera Seer would be great. Oh my goodness, that would be great. Nantuko Husk would be great. That sort of thing. But I can't think of the name of that card. You know what? We might be able to do it like this. Mythic Spoilers is good at giving us the Thesaurus. So let me jump over to Mythic Spoilers real quick, guys. Looks prettier anyway, right? Maybe I should have just been here the whole time. Here we go. I bet it's on here. I bet the other black-white card's on here. Oh man, they didn't put it on. Okay, whatever. There was a black-white card in the past that was really good. Thronogeth. No. I'll have to go look it up. I'll look it up. I'll let you guys know at some point. But Pitiless Pontiff. Not bad. Not bad. I think the card's going to be good and it's going to go really well in the Orzhov or in the Basilica Bell-Haunt. Man, look at that art. Isn't that cool? Right? When Basilica Bell-Haunt enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card and you gain 3 life. Aww. Orzhov Aristocrats. It's either going to be Orzhov or Mardu. I don't know. I'm expecting some Mardu because like you need the payoff for your Aristocrats. Like you need something like Judith to really make it, kind of go over the top. I was listening to Top Level Podcast last night. You guys might want to check that out. It's Patrick Chapin and Michael Flores. They sit around and they talk about spoilers and things like that. You know me, I'm always trying to consume more information so we can do, we can be better informed. And they were talking about Judith, and Judith, Judith is like, it's going to be okay to play 4 of this. No, it wasn't Hidden Stockpile. A little bit older than that. This was a 2/3 creature. So you guys are going to be trying to find it all night. I know it, but Cartel Aristocrat. And that sounds right. Um, they were on the same lines as I was, as saying that that the Aristocrats deck needed more parts, right? And then all of a sudden they revealed our sack outlet today, so maybe the parts are going to be there. Do remember, guys, these cards aren't rotating for 2 years. We've got you know, a ton of sets that are going to be coming way down the line that could change any of these cards and make them viable. Just because they're not viable the moment they are released does not mean that they're bad cards and won't get any play in Standard in their rotation. But, you know, we'll see. I've got to look this up real quick. It may be Cartel Aristocrat. I thought it was no, it's not this card. Not as old as Cartel Aristocrat. A little bit newer than this. It was in Rally the Ancestors. It was in Rally the Ancestors. Anyway, Basilica Bell-Haunt. Oh yeah, let me finish the thought on Judith real quick with Patrick Chapin. They brought something to my attention that even if you have like multiple copies of Judith in your hand, since it's a legendary card, you can play another copy of Judith. Ailey the Eternal. That's it. That's it. Ailey the Eternal. Anyway. Welcome to the Guess the Card with Cyborg MTG. Well, you guys got it. You guys got it. Judith, if you play the additional copy of Judith, you're going to be able to sack one to the Legendary rule, right? We were originally thinking that the Legendary rule might be a downside. They made a very good argument over on their channel that, that it may not be a downside, right? Just having the ability to just play a second Judith will allow you to sacrifice one of your Judiths, so that's instantly going to give you a sack outlet, which both of them will see. Both of them will see each other die, and then you will be able to put 2 points of damage. So you'll basically get a dual shot that you can go anywhere with. So it may actually be a good thing that Judith ended up as a legendary creature, and we may have been looking at that as a negative when it might actually be a positive. So it seems like that's going to be really good. But for now, let's go talk about Basilica Bell-Haunt, right? Because this is another one of the, you know, double cards. It's the double. Anyway, sorry. That's an old Dance Revolution joke, whatever. Double black, double white. So the double for Orzhov. That's what I'm calling it. That's it. I have named these. I've been looking for what I wanted to name these. This rotation of cards, and I'm calling them the doubles. So double black, double white, and it's a 3/4. So kind of like you know, Golgari Finebroker. But when it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card and you gain life. What do you guys think about it? Doubles got me thinking about a Dave's Juicy Double right now. I haven't had Wendy's in so long. Oh man. I should. We've got a really good Wendy's here. I might have to go get me some Wendy's at some point. Yeah, Dave's Juicy Double. Good. Relaxing with a mistress and waiting for Eric to play your deck. We will get there, buddy. I'm telling you, we'll get there. Anyway, well, Basilica Bell-Haunt. I mean, it's just opponent discards a card, you gain a life. I don't think this one's that great, but it's okay. So, okay, you're saying it's a Siege Rhino. I don't think so, man. Siege Rhino had a lot bigger body on it, had trample, did a 6-point life swing when it comes into the battlefield. Yeah, they lose a card and you're going to gain 3 life on this one, but man, not having trample, like I'm not going to compare it with a Siege Rhino, but it is a spirit, which means it could be used in some other tricks and stuff. So yeah, now it's a spirit, so it'll be a 6/7 you can flicker with spirit tricks. Fair enough. Yeah, exactly. You'll take the triple from Tim Hortons. I've never had Tim Hortons. What's Tim Hortons? We've got a George's here that does a really good burger. Anyway, Last card of the new spoilers. This is going to be Gutterbones. Oh, Gutterbones. I actually like this card, y'all. This is a 1 mana, 2/1. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Gutterbones enters the battlefield tapped, and it's got a sweet little ability on it. You can pay 1 black and 1 colorless to return Gutterbones from your graveyard to your hand. Activate this ability only if your opponent lost a life this turn. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If this card's cheap, you need to pick it up. You need to get your copies of it, because it'll be a $4 or $5 card very easily. So, anyway. Great with Death Baron. Yeah. Skeleton. I didn't even think about that. That's right. Skeletons and zombies. Oh, man. Oh. This is going to be good. What? Some in and out? We don't have in and out around here, man. Last time I had in and out was when I was in Phoenix. But I'm moving back to Dallas. And you know what they got in Dallas? Whataburger. Whataburger. Right? Oh. Anyway. Dunkin' Donuts cup. Everybody knows that. Like that is not new news. Everyone knows you don't buy coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. This seems like a worse reanimating skeleton with 1 extra power. What? This comes down on a turn before reanimating skeleton, and by the time reanimating skeleton does its first point of damage, this could have already done 4. Yeah, I'm not comparing this to reassembling skeleton. Did I say reanimating skeleton? Reassembling skeleton. I'm not comparing this to that. This doesn't seem good. What? You guys don't think this is good? Fair enough. Alright. Fair enough. Wait till you're getting beat down by mono black aggro, and they're running 4 of this, and you guys are gonna be like, damn him. Damn him. Mono black aggro with burn. No. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. What I do see here, though, and this is our last spoiler, so I'm just going to kind of get into what I'm seeing kind of line up, is we're going to have a ton of viable archetypes. There's going to be mono blue aggro. There's going to be mono blue tempo. There's going to be, like you could build mono blue control or something like that, because that's always available. But there's going to be mono black aggro, there's going to be mid-range, there's going to be like all of the different colors. If you want to play mono-color decks, those are going to be available. If you want to play 2-color decks, those are going to be available. If you want to play 3- and 4-color decks, they're going to be available. It's going to be... I'm going to say it right now. We're coming into a really good time in Magic, okay? Like, it's going to be almost modern-esque, where there are so many good decks that it's going to come down to the small, things that you do to your deck that makes it kind of off-put from the other decks, and that's going to be, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to be able to play, decks in, pick your deck, get good at your deck, learn how to tweak your deck, and it's going to be great. Oh my goodness, it already feels like we're coming into a really, really good time in Magic, and I can't wait. So, it returns to your hand, not the battlefield, then re-enters tap. So, I return it to my hand. I don't know, like, I get it. It's not, I'm not going to say it is as good as Bloodsoaked Champion and Gravecrawler. No, this isn't that good. But those cards were a little too good, right? So, like, Gravecrawler is a monster, guys. I don't know if you guys know about this, but Gravecrawler is a monster. I'm not saying this card is, like, absolutely amazing, but the card's going to be playable. And the fact that they printed us a 1-mana 2/1 in black means that we now have access to how many 1-mana creatures that do 2 points of damage. 3. Oh, I'm sorry, I did it wrong. 3. We've got we'll have this. We're gonna have is it 4? Is it really 4? What's the other one? Because I'm thinking of Vampire Conquistador. I'm thinking of so you got the Vampire, you've got the Pirate, and then you've got the Skeleton Warrior. Diregraph Ghouls in Standard? Yeah. Oh my goodness. The Imp does not do 2 damage. Does it? The Imp's a 1/1, right? I'm looking at I'm looking at creatures that do 2 damage for 1 mana. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's 4 1-drops that do 2 damage. Yeah. Okay, so we got 4 1-drops that do 2 damage. Yeah, Vicious Conquistador. Yeah, I said the Vampire, the Pirate, and the Skeleton, and apparently the Zombie. So we've got Diregraph Ghoul, we've got Vicious Conquistador. Oh, Vicious Conquistador, my buddy with a sweet mustache. Anyway, we've got Vicious Conquistador, we've got old Gutterbones here, we've got we've got the Ghoul, and it's coming around, guys. I mean, you're gonna be able to play like a 16-land mono black deck and just rape people with it. It's gonna be mean. It's gonna be mean. Too bad Better Golden Demise will laugh all the way to the next round. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. So, you're not convinced on Gutterbones? The only thing that I'm excited, like, I'm not actually excited about the words on this card. I'm just excited about the fact that that is a 1-mana 2/1. So, and it's our last spoiler for the day. So, we can hit the refresh button and see if something else pops out. But I think that's going to be it. My pick for card that I am most excited for today, if it's not Wilderness Reclamation, it's the implications that come along with having Consecrate Consume. Just the fact that we're going to, right, it can even block. Yeah. I mean, not that, like, you top, I have died before because I top decked a card that entered the battlefield tap, you know. Yeah. Anyway, Consume's definitely up there on my pick of the day. The most broken card of the day, definitely going to be Wilderness Reclamation. This card's good, guys. This card's, I can't wait to see what you guys got to build around this. Other than that, that's going to do it for our spoilers. We're gonna take a quick break, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna play Rush's deck. I do want to let everyone know again that Sideboard MTG, our community, has been giving a access to the streamers only early access event. I mean, I need to word this somewhere, right? But on the 16th of January, we're going to have access to a playset of all these new cards, and we're going to be able to play around with them on Arena. So if you've got decks you want to see built, you got some stuff, jump into the stream. We're going to be live. I do think that it's going to be a few days before I'm allowed to repost the videos from that. I will be recording them, but I will not even be able to do the YouTube replay until they allow that to happen. But if you want to stop in live on the 16th, please do so. You will see me having the wording Wizard-sponsored content and everything between now and the 16th, because anytime I want to mention this, I have to say that there's Wizard-sponsored content there. You know, federal regulations and Wizard law. That was in the email. Wizard law. Right. I liked it. Reminded me of Fairy Tale. Anyway, yeah, so you guys will be hearing about, you know, Wizard-sponsored content a lot here in the near future. And, you know, I think that's a step in the right direction for the channel. I really do. I'm I'm quite excited, and I couldn't have gotten it if it wasn't for all of you guys hitting that like button, that subscribe button, all of those great things. We are coming up on 5K, so we will be doing the 5K Q&A. I just watched the professor's 400,000K, or sorry, the 400,000 subscribers Q&A. So his 400K Q&A. Wow, wow, Professor, you monster. Any word on Domri raid yet? No, we don't know about Domri. As soon as we find out about Domri, we'll, like, I'll probably do a separate video on him. He's got to be huge, but, right, 95K left. You hang in there, Zaxdillo. You hang in there, buddy. But yeah, we've got a lot of fun things coming up. This is just the first of it. I am going to be doing pretty much everything I can do to comply with Wizards, right? Like, I know some of you are going to be like, I can't believe that you're doing this or that or with Wizards, but you know they make this damn game. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and shut down all the haters right now. They make the game. They make the game. They're the ones with the free passes to hand out to people, and if you want them, you get in line, right? And so I'm there. Like, I am so happy to be invited to this. This is going to be like exclusive content that we get as a Sideboard MTG community. Like, that's huge. We get to be part of the same things that all those people over on Twitch are doing. We're going to do it right here on YouTube. As far as I know, I don't know that many other people that are going to be doing it on YouTube, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I am going to, we're taking steps, like Vanessa's working on getting that day off and everything, so on the 16th, we're going to be taking steps, I want to stream as much as possible about it, so, yeah. You're up to 28 subscribers. Help me out, guys. Tier 1 jank. Figure out what's going on with the your OBS, and you know, maybe that'll help. But I appreciate it, guys. Passes a chair at Rush is like, here, throw a chair. It'll make you feel better. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for our spoilers and our announcement video. Again, Wizards, if you're watching, thanks. I appreciate it. You know, next step is getting exclusive spoilers, right? Right, so that we get to do a video on, hey, you're gonna see it right here first. So that'll be a lot of fun. I mean, that's, in a way, it's kind of like rite of passage into the MTG streaming community. So I'm game for it. I am game. 2019 gonna be a great time. So we will see you very shortly. I'm going to take a quick break. We're going to get Rush's deck up, and then we're going to play the last of the Patreon decks, which is just Rush's deck, and then we'll call it a night. So we'll see you guys back very shortly, and hope you enjoyed the spoilers. Bye.